confident female mindsets that drive guys wild. Now, we've all seen her, the woman who seems to effortlessly captivate everyone in the room. She's not necessarily the most beautiful or the most outgoing, but there's something about her that's just magnetizing. So what's her secret? Well, let's find out now. I'm Brody Boyd with Magnetize Your Man, and as a love coach for over 13 years, here's what I've seen. Now, the first confident female mindset that drives guys wild is self-love and self-respect. Now, self-love is the act of cherishing and accepting yourself inside and out. It's about being your own best friend, giving yourself the love and care that you'd give someone you deeply cherish. Now, self-respect, on the other hand, is about setting boundaries and honoring your worth. It means knowing what you deserve and not settling for less. Now, together, these form a powerful combo that exudes a confident, radiant energy that can be incredibly attractive. Now, when a woman loves and respects herself, it shows. She walks taller, speaks with conviction, and her happiness doesn't depend on the validation of others, especially men. Now, this kind of self-sufficiency and radiant energy is incredibly appealing. It communicates a sense of stability, strength, and genuine character that people, particularly men, find wildly attractive. Now, 3 specific examples of this include, number 1, prioritizing your own needs. Now, this doesn't mean you're selfish. It means that you understand the value of your own well-being. For instance, opting for a night of self-care instead of a date that you're not really excited about. Now, number 2 is setting boundaries in relationships. Now, when a woman respects herself, she will not tolerate mistreatment. She makes it clear that she is and isn't comfortable with certain things and is unafraid to walk away if those boundaries are violated. And number 3 is celebrating your own achievements. Now, whether it's cleaning your house or writing a book, celebrating what you've achieved in your own personal growth can boost your self-esteem and your self-image. Now, a famous quote says, "When you undervalue yourself, the world will undervalue you." Now, it suggests that your perception of yourself sets the tone for how others will perceive and treat you. Now, a woman with self-love and self-respect inherently values herself, and in turn, this encourages others, including men, to value her just as highly. Now, think of self-love and self-respect as a golden protective dress. Now, this dress doesn't keep people at a distance. Instead, it selectively filters who is allowed into your personal space. When a woman wears the golden dress, it shines brightly, catching the eye of everyone around her, especially men. Now, they can see the strong, radiant energy she carries, and it's the golden aura, a product of her self-love and self-respect that drives guys wild. Now, it's not about being unapproachable, but about valuing yourself in a way that makes others recognize your worth. Now, in simple terms, when you treat yourself like gold, others will too, and that undoubtedly is a quality that can drive anyone, not just men, absolutely wild. Now, from a biological perspective, self-love and self-respect can be seen as indicators of a high-quality mate. A woman who values herself is likely to have strong self-esteem and mental health, which can be interpreted as signs of a capable and reliable partner. Now, this kind of confidence could signal to a man on a subconscious level that she is a strong and nurturing potential mate for raising offspring. And consider Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt. Despite the political turmoil of her time, she was known for her wit, charm, and strategic brilliance. Cleopatra's confidence, self-love, and self-respect were palpable, and they played a key role in her relationships with powerful men like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Her self-assured demeanor wasn't just about her physical attraction, it was her intellect and her respect she had for herself that made her irresistible. Now, psychologically, self-love and self-respect contribute to a positive self-concept, which tends to result in more positive interactions with others. Now, men, like anyone, are attracted to positivity. A woman who demonstrates self-love and self-respect is often more optimistic, happier, and more satisfied with her life, traits that can be highly attractive to others. And according to a study published in the Journal of Psychology and Social Physiology, a personal and social psychology, people with high self-esteem, a component of self-love and self-respect, have relationships characterized by less conflict and more positivity. Now, the study found that these individuals are less likely to be defensive and more likely to feel secure and positive in their relationships. Now, the Bible in Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind." Now, this verse encourages you to stand firm in your own truth and not be swayed by the opinions of the world. It's a call to self-love and self-respect, to honor yourself and your own beliefs, which align with the idea of being confident and secure in who you are, a quality that is attractive to others. Now, interestingly, this mindset is not exclusive to women. Men too who exhibit self-love and self-respect are often found to be more attractive to potential partners. It's a human quality and is universally appealing. Now, the second confident female mindset that drives guys wild is positivity and optimism. Now, being positive and optimistic means choosing to see the silver lining even when the clouds are gray. It's about expecting good things to happen and believing in the beauty of tomorrow. This mindset is not about ignoring life's challenges, it's about facing them with a hopeful heart and a resilient spirit. Now, this mindset is magnetic. It exudes a type of energy that people, especially men, are drawn to. Now, optimism is associated with happiness, and who doesn't want to be around a happy, uplifting person? Plus, a positive, optimistic woman tends to bring out the best in those around her, encouraging a deeper emotional connection. Now, 3 specific examples of this include, number 1, turning failures into lessons. So instead of dwelling on a mistake, view it as a stepping stone towards your growth and learn from it. Now, number 2 is being a cheerleader to others. Celebrate your friends' accomplishments wholeheartedly, without a trace of envy, making your own light shine even brighter. And number 3 is facing challenges with grace. When life throws a curveball, don't crumble. Instead, take a deep breath, stay focused, and move forward with hope and determination. Now, Winston Churchill once said, "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." Now, Churchill's words underline the magnetic power of optimism. It illustrates that a positive and optimistic woman sees potential and promise where others might see only challenges. Now, this perspective is not just appealing, it's deeply inspiring, and it's a quality that men find incredibly attractive because it signals resilience, strength, and a zest for life. Now, imagine a garden in the early morning, just as the sun begins to rise. In this garden, a woman with a positive and optimistic mindset is like the sunflower that stands tall and turns to face the sun, soaking up the warmth and light. Even on cloudy days, the sunflower still reaches upwards, symbolizing hope and resilience. People, including men, are like the other flowers in that garden. They can't help but be drawn to that warmth and light that the sunflower radiates. Now, from an evolutionary perspective, a positive and optimistic attitude could signal to a potential mate that this woman is resourceful and resilient, key traits for survival. Her optimism may suggest that she is more likely to foster a positive environment for offspring, thus making her a desirable partner for long-term companionship and parenting. Now, consider Eleanor Roosevelt, the wife of the U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Now, despite facing personal and public challenges, including her husband's polio diagnosis and a world at war, she remained optimistic, becoming a beacon of hope for millions. Her positivity wasn't just for show. It shaped her into a formidable diplomat and activist. Eleanor's optimistic attitude towards the possibility of change and progress made her stand out in a world full of despair. Now, psychologically speaking, optimism is linked to better mental and physical health. A positive and optimistic woman likely has a lower stress levels and a stronger immune system. This healthy glow and vibrant energy are often perceived as highly attractive. Now, furthermore, her positive outlook can create a feedback loop where her optimism draws positivity from others, including men, making interactions with her more enjoyable and uplifting. The upward spiral. Now, according to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, optimists tend to have healthier relationships compared to pessimists. The study found that optimists and their partners experience more relationship satisfaction, partly because optimists tend to view conflict as temporary and manageable part of life and not a chronic or dire issue. Now, the Bible in Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Now, this verse embodies the essence of positivity and optimistic mindset. It is about having faith in a brighter, better future and the belief that everything will eventually work out for the best. For a woman with this mindset, her faith, whether religious or not, is deeply intertwined with her optimistic outlook, making her a beacon of hope and comfort to those around her. Now, one might argue that excessive optimism can be perceived as naivete or denial of reality, which might not always be appealing. It's important to strike a balance between optimistic, and it should not mean ignoring problems or failing to or planning to for possible challenges. It's about approaching life with a hopeful perspective and not wearing rose-colored glasses. Now, the third confident female mindset that drives guys wild is authenticity and vulnerability. Now, imagine being at a social gathering where everyone seems to have a perfect polished veneer, and then she walks in. She's comfortable in her own skin, her laughter is genuine, and when she speaks, she opens her heart just enough to let you see inside. She's not just authentic, she's authentically vulnerable. Now, this blend of confidence and openness doesn't just draw attention, it's a mindset that drives guys absolutely wild. Being authentic means being true to who you are, not conforming to what you think others want you to be. Now, vulnerability takes this to a step further. It's letting others see your true self, including your emotions and your imperfections, without fear of judgment. Now, together, this mindset is about being courageous with yourself and openly sharing that self with others. Now, in a world that often encourages us to hide our true selves behind a facade, authenticity paired with vulnerability is like a breath of fresh air. It shows strength and self-acceptance, which is deeply attractive. It invites genuine connections and signals to others, especially to men, that here is a woman who knows and loves herself. She's someone who will bring that same truth and depth to a relationship. Now, 3 specific examples of this include sharing personal stories. So be willing to share stories of your own challenges and triumphs, not to seek attention or sympathy, but to foster a real connection. Number 2 is expressing emotions honestly. When you're happy, let others know about it. And when you're hurt, don't be afraid to express that either. And number 3 is admitting when you don't know something. Now, don't pretend to have all the answers. Instead, be open about your own learning journey and be excited to grow. Now, Nat King Cole once said, "The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and to be loved in return." Now, this quote is not just about romantic love, it's about human connection, which is founded on authenticity and vulnerability. It suggests that the essence of life and relationships is to love oneself and others openly and unguardedly, and to allow that love to be reciprocated without fear. Now, this is a mindset that men find deeply attractive because it promises a relationship that is real and meaningful. Now, imagine a beautiful ancient tree in the middle of a field. Its branches are wide and open, not afraid to dance in the wind or bask in the sun. The tree's roots run deep and signifying self-awareness and grounding in authenticity. Its leaves may rustle and even fall as seasons change, symbolizing vulnerability and the natural rhythm of life's ups and downs. Now, from a biological standpoint, authenticity and vulnerability signal to potential partners that she is not only genuine, but also trustworthy. In ancient times, survival depended heavily on community and connections. A woman who was authentic and vulnerable could be trusted with those vital social circles, signaling to a man that she is a reliable and desirable partner. Now, psychologically, vulnerability is associated with mental health and emotional well-being. It's often a critical component of meaningful relationships. Authenticity, on the other hand, is closely related to self-esteem and self-acceptance. Now, this blend allows for deep emotional connections, which is often what men, and indeed people in general, are searching for in a true partnership. Now, according to a study by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people who practice vulnerability in their relationships, like sharing personal thoughts and feelings, were more likely to experience better relationship satisfaction and connection. Now, authenticity is equally important. A study from the University of Georgia found that authenticity plays a significant role in mental health and overall happiness. Now, the Bible in Romans 12:9 says, "Let love be genuine, abhor what is evil, hold fast to what is good." Now, this quote encapsulates the essence of being both authentic and vulnerable. It encourages us to love sincerely and openly with a genuine heart, which aligns with the idea of vulnerability. Moreover, it guides us to remain steadfast in our values, the core of authenticity. Now, a counter-argument might be that being too open and vulnerable could make one an easy target for emotional harm, or it may be perceived as oversharing in some social contexts. Now, there's a fine line between being open and oversharing, and it's critical to navigate that boundary wisely. So, there we have it, the power of being both authentic and vulnerable. It's a mindset that has roots running deep through history, and it's not just an attractive trait, it's the cornerstone of meaningful relationships, validated by modern psychology and social studies. Now, in a world where we often wear masks, choosing to be both authentic and vulnerable is revolutionary. It's not about playing a role perfectly, it's about playing your own true role wholeheartedly. And that, beyond a doubt, is a mindset that drives guys wild, inviting them to drop their own masks and meet you in a wonderful open space of genuine connection. Now, next, if you'd like to discover how to get the man in relationship you want fast, specifically for you, then make sure to also take our free love quiz at getlovequiz.com, or subscribe and click on the link in the description or comments below this training now to get that, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.